Hi everybody, this is Father Moki Hino coming to you from the rectory at Good Shepherd Episcopal Church here in Wailuku, Maui. Today is Thursday, March 6th, 2025, and this is Chicken Chat. Welcome everybody. It was a very busy Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. On Friday morning, I went to Honolulu and helped with the funeral of my cousin's husband, George, and then went and met with Allison Dingley for lunch and came home. And then Saturday, we went to Maui Hospital to go and see Tamo Takara, who had ended up in the hospital, and then also to Halemakua Wailuku because a Mercedes Topino was on her last leg under hospice care, and I was asked to go in and give last rites. Turns out that she is the sister of Emiliano Villa, and as you know, Emiliano and Susanna are Natasha Enomoto's grandparents. Also, her sister-in-law Joan Villa is was or still is the senior warden at Trinity by the Sea. So a nice sort of intersection of all our relationships here in the Episcopal churches in Maui. Then it turns out that the next afternoon she did pass away. So we also took home communions during the week. You know, we go down to the Maui Adult Daycare Center and Halemakua to see folks, and then if they are in, we stop by the Melcher's place and give them communion also. So it was quite the busy weekend. And then Saturday, 15 people showed up for our outdoor service, and I was all dressed up because I had just gone to Halemakua in the hospital, and the group out there wondered if this was going to be a new thing, and I told them no, rest assured, I'm going to be in shorts, t-shirt, and slippers again next week. Okay. And then Sunday, about 80 people showed up. It was, I know I ran out of communion wafers and had to go into the reserve sacrament to get bread for everybody. After the service, Brian Schuster and Cindy Schuster had a really nice spread laid out, especially those guava filled pastries. My goodness, they were so good. I had two. And then let's see, what else? Oh yeah, Dutch and Michelle Akana and their family came and took care of Ka'ohana Kitchen. Just as a reminder, please do consider signing up for flowers after Lent is over, because of course we don't have flowers in the sanctuary during Lent. For Ka'ohana Kitchen, Cora was telling me they really need help, and anyway, please consider that. And also coffee hour. We're good through March, but we may have some spots in April. We do have some spots in April. Vanna is nodding her head up and down like this. Yesterday we had our Ash Wednesday liturgies. We did one at 12 o'clock noon, very simple without music, said service, and then another with music. And then we also distributed ashes down at the Maui Adult Daycare in Halemakua. Please remember that after church on March 16th, we will have a training for lay Eucharistic ministers. I love doing that training because it's the diocese has a checklist of all the things that I have to tell the people about. So the outline or the bones of the curriculum are there, which makes it really easy. Also, beginning yesterday, we have and will continue to put up daily Lenten reflections through Holy Saturday. At this time, we are going to flash up the list of servants for our service on March 9th. now that we've seen our servants for this Sunday, let's take a moment to remember everyone on our pastoral care prayer list by name.
Ireneo, Eric, Purificacion, Tom, Dutch, Lisa, Steve, Melinda, Randy, Anthony, Julio, Lydia, Velma, Bill, John, Paul E., Maggie, Shirley, Cindy F., Dolores, Juanito, Robert, Jacinta, Jose, Gary, Alexa, Charlotte, Adrienne, Elizabeth, Ryder, Greg, Al, Ernesto, Randall, Alfredo R., Brian, George, Margaret, Cora S., Barbara, Elena, Charlesta, Brianna, Paul, Lynn, Tomo, Kathy.
The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom then shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom then shall I be afraid? When evildoers came upon me to eat up my flesh, it was they, my foes and my adversaries, who stumbled and fell. Though an army should encamp against me, yet my heart shall not be afraid. And though war should rise up against me, yet I will put my trust in him. One thing I have asked of the Lord, one thing I seek, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life. That, by the way, is taken from Psalm 27, the first 5 verses. And that came to me this morning as we were preparing to do this recording, because many of you will remember Lucille Tamura Caldwell, who worked in the bishop's office under Bishop Chang, and she told me that if I were ever in distress to read that psalm, and so that's why I chose that this morning. We have a very interesting saint this morning, Jean-Pierre de Caussade. They really don't know very much about him, but he was a spiritual director for the nuns in a place called Nancy, France. So he would go, I guess, to the convent and do spiritual direction for the sisters there. He also heavily influenced Therese of Lisieux. And he had a really kind of cool quote here that I'd like to share with all of you. If I can find it on my phone, which I will in a moment, because I did. Oh, yes. He says, he wrote a book called Abandonment to Divine Providence. Abandonment to Divine Providence, which I think is really kind of a cool way of looking at it, surrender ourselves to all that God provides, rather than, thinking that we can do it on our own and use our self-will to get along. Just surrender it all to what God provides. And I think that does lead to a very rich spiritual life. And so that is Jean-Pierre de Caussade. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. We have some pictures of him, and that's about all I have to tell you about him, but cool guy. Lived in the 1600s, I believe. All right, for the chicken of the week, everybody. So I was walking along to the office this morning, and there was a rooster hanging out by the shed. And I was looking at this rooster, and his tail feathers were kind of waving in the wind, and I thought, oh, thank goodness the trade winds are back, because that horrible fog that we had last week will finally blow away and go somewhere else. And it kind of reminded me of his tail feathers were so beautiful, but as they swayed in the wind, and it reminded me of the palm trees down there by the Maui Beach Hotel that you can see waving in the wind. And so I'd like to name this week's chicken of the week Palm Tree, Congratulations, Palm Tree. Thank you very much, everybody. Take care, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.